guys, this is Walton, and I want to go over the natural minor scale today. I've been going over the major scale and the chords that go with it. For every major scale, there's a relative minor. For instance, we've got C major. Easiest way to look at this is just go up to the 6th scale degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or C, D, E, F, G, A. All right, so there's where the relative minor scale for that key is going to start, and just play from that note A up to its octave using the notes from the scale. So you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So there's the A natural minor scale. That's relative to C major. I like to drop it down an octave here, so we've got turn like that. So we've got triads that we build on each degree of the scale, just like we did in C major. So starting from 1, and it's that kind of that simplistic idea of just play a note, skip a note. There's 3, 1, 3, skip a note in the scale, that is, and we've got 5. So 1, 3, 5. There's our first triad. That's A minor. We just go through that on each degree of the scale. We've got B, D, F, so that means we've got a diminished 2, and it's kind of windy today, so there might be some noise on the microphone. So there's 2. Here's 3 is at C major. 4 will be a D minor. 5 is E minor. That's a big difference there. 6 will be F major. 7 is G major. Another big difference, and then we're back to 8. We're back to 1, minor 1, A minor. So we've got, for the chord scale, then we've got this: A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor. If you looked at it from the perspective of the whole steps and half steps, just like the major scale, you'd have this. You'd have, starting from A, you'd have whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And that's kind of important to do because we're going to make a change in the scale. There's a gust of wind. We're going to make a change in the scale here momentarily. So with just these chords, what you're going to notice, you have minor 1 to a minor 5. So that relationship, cadences, the last 2 chords of the song, if we played that in C, 5 to 1, that's really strong and final. It just takes you right in for a landing, and the tune's over. So 1s and 5s are really important. In the minor, natural minor now, we've got a minor 1 to a minor 5. So it doesn't resolve quite as solidly as what happens in the major key with those intervals and that relationship. So what they did, by the way, I think of this as kind of Renaissance music, the natural minor scale. It comes back into use, interestingly enough, in the 60s with a lot of rock bands using the natural minor scale. Not that it went away, but because of the alteration I'm going to talk about, it wasn't used as much. So what they did, say like in the Baroque period approximately, was they did something called restoring the leading tone. So this was really a chordal idea. They're going for that 1-5 sound, as in the major key. They wanted that, but they still wanted to play in minor. So what they did was they raised the 7th degree of the scale. It's called restoring the leading tone. So now we're going to have this. Suddenly it's this exotic sounding scale. We've just altered one note. We raised the G natural to G sharp. We just had to bump it up a half step. So we're going to get whole step, half, whole, half. There's a big jump there. There's the the raised 7th degree. It's a step and a half. Now we're up to the back to the root. So we've got that half step there between 7 and 8. And that's a big deal. So now what we get is, so that 1-5-1 is sort of borrowing it from the major key. We get that back now instead of, so like if I was going to play a 1-4-5 in A minor, compare that to the natural minor. So our chord scale now is going to be a little bit different. It's kind of interesting that we're going to have, we still have a minor 1. We'll have the diminished. For our 3 chord, it's going to be 3 augmented. So normally it would be a C major there. It's now a C augmented. That's kind of different. 4 is still the same, D minor. 5, there's just a straight E major. A lot of times we'll make that a dominant 7, adding in that D natural. 7 is still, or sorry, 6 is still the same. But now 7, we get that diminished chord back like we had in the major key. Diminished 7, or 2, back to minor 1. So that's the big difference there. That one note. You get a big jump from 6 to 7 in this thing. And that was a little bit of a problem for singers, so there's another alteration where melodic minor, where they raise that 6th degree up. That's for another conversation. I just wanted to get into the relative minor today, a natural minor scale, and you really can't talk about the natural minor without talking about harmonic minor. That's that alteration there, the raised, restored leading tone. So yeah, it was more of a chordal idea to get that stronger sound like they had in the major key. But you wind up with this exotic sort of sounding scale. You know, it's kind of gypsy, caravan-like, whatever. And it sounds pretty cool. So that's natural minor and harmonic minor. Maybe I'll get into the melodic minor later. I don't, you know, a lot of jazz players use the melodic minor. I've never really done much with it. I'm not really a jazz player, so. So there's natural minor and harmonic minor. I hope that was clear, and I think next time I'm probably going to get to go back to some of the chordal ideas and root movement by fifths. I want to get back into that. Also cadences. I'm going to be talking about that in the future too. So that's it. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.